Hello and welcome to Geolantis 360. In this video, we'll show quickly how to start with collecting point features or mapping single objects in the field. These points could be anything, like mapping streetlight poles or traffic lights location, fire hydrant or drainage or a silver manhole, or the purpose of maintenance or regular inspection, for example. Now, of course, we'll be using the Geolantis Android app as well as the iOS app, and both, of course, are available on either the Google Play Store for Android or the Apple App Store, and yeah, they're both available for free. So with that being said, we'll go ahead with the Android version in the beginning, and we will also need to have the credentials, so please be ready with the username and password. And you can contact us by writing a short email to support@geolantis.com if you'd like to have access or simply need to make a quick request for a demo. You can do that on our website at geolantis.com. All right, so starting with the Android app, we will just mention a couple things that we need to set up over on the web portal in order to have our data ready on the mobile app. So I'm now logged in on the web portal on this side. And in order to have the data loaded, we will need to start by creating a project in the projects page over the web portal. And we need to also set up other feature classes or the geodata layers under the feature classes page. And this is under the GIS section. Here we can set up all these data layers, set up attributes for every layer, and so on. So now we'll start with the mapping on the Android app. And I'll have the app already downloaded. You can start with the Geolantis 360. So we'll give the username and password. And we click Login. And just to mention, we have two different versions of the app on the App Store, the Enterprise and the Geolants 360. And the difference is for Enterprise, you need to specify the URL. And for the Geolants 360, the app is already configured to the URL on the web portal, which is collector.js.com. All right, so now I'm using Geolants 360. And after I log in, I get to the Modules, Forms, Inspector, and Collector. And we'll then switch to the collector and go ahead and open the project list. So this is our project, which we have already prepared on the web portal. And once we select the project, we will see the data loaded. And I can select here a couple of layers to activate, not to overload the performance. So I'll need this feature class. For example, I'll need this feature class researcher class, so no need to see all the objects. This will make it faster. And the next thing we can do is start by selecting the mapping mode from the top plus icon here. And there are two different modes of mapping. So I can choose either my position, which will activate the mapping from my actual position using the GPS data, but at the moment I have a low accuracy because I'm inside, so I will use the recording manually. Once I select the mode, then I can choose which feature class to select. If I want to add a point, a damage point, to record the damage point in the field, then I'll have to fill out some mandatory attributes. For example, here I have to select the asset type. And the type of asset, say that's electricity, and then next. So all the fields was the triangle sign here. That's a mandatory field which I have to fill out. I'll select medium, next, And these attributes we can, as I mentioned before, we can configure on the web portal under the feature class page. There will be another tutorial for sure about setting up a feature class in detail. So I can click Done, and now I'm ready with the attributes, and I can choose where I would like to place the point. If I'm activating the GPS mode, then I only need to click on this position icon. But since the service is with low accuracy, then it's not possible. And that's why we are now using the manual mode. So I will zoom into the place where I would like to map the point. We have to deactivate this. So here I can see different points, and I would like to create an additional point. And to start the project again, add the damage point manually. And select telecom, for example. The severity is medium. Next, click Done, and then I'm ready to place a point. Now in this case, I'd like to zoom in. So I will deactivate the layers which I don't need. And I don't need the lines, I don't need the polygons. So once I find the correct location, and it will, so I will stop now just to go to the right place. And again, start mapping manually. So select a damage point, telecom, severity, next, done. Okay, I will assume that I'd like to place the point here. Then you need to click on the flag icon on the top right, and then it will create a point. And the app will say that a new point has been created. And then once the point is created, I can click on it and choose if I want to display the information about the point. I can edit these attributes by clicking on Edit here. So I can add extra notes, for example, say damage detected. And I can also choose the point and click on the pencil on the top right, and this will enable me to change the position of this point. And again, I can choose either from my position or record manually, or I can enter the coordinates directly. I can also delete the point from here. I can also add a photo from the field. If I edit the point, and click on the pencil, and click on this photo here on the top right, and then the mobile will open the camera to take a picture and attach it to this feature. So this is a quick overview on creating the points on the Android app. And then once I'm done with the mapping, then the synchronization icon, which is the two arrows on the top left, those will turn from orange to green. Or I can start it manually here to see that the synchronization is complete. And once this is done, I can display this point on the web portal after I refresh the map screen. And I can directly select the zoom to layer. So now I'm under the features page. I have to make sure that I select the correct project. That's the map page. Then, I think this is the point which I've just created. And Yep, it's ready here for display on the web portal. And if I would like to export it, I can also click here on the mode and choose select single point, for example. And once I choose the point, and I can display it in the table of attributes here below the map, and I can select it here. Then I have the options to export to different geodata standard formats, or I can add it to a task for inspection, or actually also edit it here on the web portal. I can still change the location or edit the attributes. So this is how the point is created on Android. And so now we will switch over to the iOS demo. And similarly, we'll just log in. It's the username and password. And I wait until the project is synchronized. You can see the progress of synchronization here on the top right. And then once it's done, I can go ahead and select the collector module and choose the project which I want to display or start mapping in. So then the map screen opens. And I can also choose the position icon here to go directly to my location. So if I'm in the field and I'm having good accuracy to do it with GPS, if not, otherwise I'll start mapping with manual mode like we did in the Android app. So this is the project area. I can also choose which layers are visible and invisible here from the layers icon. I can switch on and switch off the points which I don't want to see. And I can choose to place an additional point here on the map. And we start the mapping by clicking on this polygon icon plus button here. And then I will choose which feature class I would like to add a point in. For example, here, let's say this is a house connection layer. And I will start the mapping now in manual mode. And we can see here on the right, we have the mapping plus location icon. This one here. I need to place the map on the location where I would like to place the button. And then just click on this plus symbol. Then the point will be added. So I've already added one point here, and I repeat here by adding another. And once I'm done with collecting the points, I'll just click on the X button to finish the mapping. So as we can see, the points are already on the map. And I will then start the synchronization so that the manager can see the points in the office on the web portal. Once it reaches 100, then they will be available also on the web portal for export or any further analysis, or to assign them as a task for inspection to the field group. So you can see here, those are the 2 points. And if I reload the page, and under the features page again, I have to select the correct project. And I can choose which layers are displayed on the map. And I can also right-click and choose Zoom to Layer to see the full extent of the collected data. And here we can see, so I can also switch the map background to satellite image to see the correct location. And we have here the 2 points, which we have just collected in the iOS app. And the same scenario, we can always select them, display the attributes, or choose to export, or assign them to a task, or do further editing on the web portal by choosing the selection mode. If I have more than one feature, I can choose the area selection mode and draw a rectangle where all the needed points can be selected. And then I can choose to export or to assign to an instruction task, or to edit them, as mentioned before. So this is how we do the point collection in the field on the iOS app. And of course, this was a very basic scenario to collect single points if you have a normal mobile device, either Android or iOS.